Hello and welcome to episode number 8 of Discover with Sbenati. Welcome back to those that are watching on YouTube. For those watching on, watching anyway, welcome. And for those listening on iTunes and Spotify and anywhere else listening to the podcast, welcome to you as well. Today we have a very, very special guest. With me is Mark Freeman. I'm not going to take up much of your time. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So, Mark Freeman, floor is yours.
Hi, how's it going? I'm Mark Freeman, 408. I guess 408's now in my name title. I think it's on my driver's license actually. But started all with motocross and YouTube.
Okay.
10 years ago, actually no longer than that, I started motocross. I've been riding since I was 6. I'm 29 now.
Wow.
And then I, raced here and there. And then when I first got into it, I was already into film, so we just started filming stuff, throwing it together. And then I was sick of burning DVDs.
Okay.
Remember the DVDs?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, burning CDs and DVDs.
I'm aging myself right now.
Yeah, I know, right? So YouTube kind of came out around the time, and my friends were like, oh, just throw your videos in my channel. I was like, all right. And then I think I got a few videos in, and I'm like, okay, I need to start my own channel. And then that was before like the partnership program.
Okay.
And then I think 2009 they came out with a partnership program, and I heard of a few guys around London making like thousands of dollars of YouTube. I'm like, I can do this. And I was already into film. I went to film school. When was that? I can't remember now. I think it was 2007.
Okay.
So I was already like into film, but I didn't want to be like a director or work for someone else per se. So I started my YouTube. I was working on the farm. I actually worked at Tim Hortons for a little bit. And it kind of just grew from there.
Okay.
And I applied for the partnership program, and 3 months later I got accepted, and I got my first $200 check, and
Nice.
it was competitive with myself ever since. So.
Okay. So explain to us, what's this partnership program?
So partnership program was basically, they just, at the time they were super strict, like they were only allowing certain people with a certain amount of views and subscribers. They would put ads on your videos, help you, grow, and then every month they'd send you a check straight from Google. So
Nice.
That was pretty cool. I wish I kept my first one and framed it. I don't know where it is.
It's all good.
But I think I had 300 subscribers at the time. It
Nice.
seems like so small now.
Yeah,
by
right.
a day now.
Yeah. So this was initially when they first started?
No, this is when I first started the partnership program.
Okay.
This is, I think, 2 years after YouTube started.
Okay.
I think
So
they started in
2007.
2006 or 7.
Yeah.
And then, somewhere around 2009, they came
Okay.
out with the programs. So,
Fair enough.
but there's one guy by Luke, and he was making like 10 grand a month.
Holy.
Like right off the bat.
Wow.
So I was like, I can do that. So,
That's amazing.
yeah, so
Okay.
I got into it, and all of a sudden, it was mostly motocross when we started.
Right.
Behind the scenes of like when I was racing, because that's when I was racing professionally.
Right.
And so I'd go to the track, we'd all film each other, and then after the races you would see the behind the scenes of what actually happens.
Right.
And then I kind of started drifting away from the racing scene, because once I got to pro, it was like less and less fun. It was more of a job, and I didn't have the joy in it anymore.
Right.
So
Because it became extremely competitive, right?
yeah, it was like you're dumping more money and then you're making anyways. So I had the track in my house for practice and like training and stuff. So my friend actually, he had an old car, and he said, hey, you should jump this one of your jumps. I'm like, okay. So I put a brake on the gas, and I was like kind of driving it. My friend was driving beside me on my quad, and I jumped out of the car onto the quad. And
You're kidding me.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And
It's like Hollywood.
Yeah,
Okay.
It literally looks like Hollywood. And then the car kind of veered off and hit the side of the jump, and it was actually better because it flipped and landed in a puddle. And then I think that video got like 1 million views.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, all right, car stuff. So we kind of switched to car stuff from there. I was still racing and, training daily.
Yeah.
And it got to be a lot. Like, I barely had freaking time to hang out with my friends
Right,
anymore.
of course.
So,
Of course.
So yeah, I can't even remember what year I raced to. I think it was like 2011 or 2012. And just kept fading away from it, but getting more into the YouTube side of things. And I was just enjoying it so much. And, every question from every person, oh, when are you going to get a real job? I'm like,
This is my. That's right. That's right.
I get to do whatever, whenever. I make my own rules.
That's right.
And everyone gets to watch it. And
That's
then
right.
what I like too is you know, sometimes people are annoyed that like we're always filming everything. Like, oh, why is the camera in my face? But as soon as they get home, they watch the video.
100%.
And then they show all their friends.
100%.
And like, that's what I try and tell them. Like, listen, like, you know, down the road, when you want to show your friends, remember that time we flipped the car?
You have it right there.
There it is.
That's right.
So
That's
it's
right.
like posting pictures on Facebook.
100%.
Like,
100%.
I remember everyone would post everything, but then now it's like no one has photo albums anymore. It's oh, go on my Facebook.
That's
and,
right.
Yeah.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster.
So now what? So now you're still a partner with?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been I guess 10 years.
10 years.
This month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Celebration time.
I'm almost at 2,000 videos. I think I'm at.
Wow.
I think 200 million views.
That's amazing.
On YouTube, I couldn't even tell you, like Snapchat and Instagram, there's hundreds of millions on there.
Right.
I think I have around 350,000 subscribers. I get to travel the world I get paid to do it now.
Yeah.
Last year I was in like Haiti, Jamaica, Mexico.
Doing what? Like you travel there?
Everything, dirt biking, snowmobiling, like getting to tour these villages that no one ever gets to see. Like I went to Haiti and I didn't even get to go in the airport. I got picked up on a golf cart and escorted to the president's bar.
Wow.
Yeah, I was scared. I had no clue what was going on. They just take me to this building, all blacked out, and I get in there and all these guys are just raging.
Now, did you have the entire time? Did you have a cameraman follow you the entire time?
No, so for Haiti, I went down by myself, so I didn't know what I was getting into.
That is courageous.
Yeah,
That's
but
very
I did
courageous.
talk
Okay.
to the guy that was arranging it, and he works for like the UN,
Okay.
so I wasn't too worried.
Right,
I
right.
was like, "You're going to Haiti?" Like,
You're not walking to like Escobar's house.
no,
Okay,
no. So, but I met a ton of amazing people, and I'm hoping to go back actually in December. So,
Oh, wow.
But it's a whole other world down there. Like riding too. It was like riding on razor blades.
Okay. How so? Like, what's the difference?
Well,
Like,
it was all enduro riding, so you know we're going through the mountains and stuff. But a lot of it's like super sharp, shaly rock.
Oh, okay.
So.
Which makes it very slippery on the wheels, right? Is that what
If
it
it
is?
gets wet, yeah.
Okay.
But it's kind of like riding on marbles.
Okay.
And then two on like your tires. Like here, I'll make a tire last like 2-3 months. There, I went through a tire in a day.
Whoa.
Yeah, because it's so
the weight,
sharp.
that's right.
It's like the lugs were just flying off the tires, and I felt bad because they put a brand new tire on this bike, and I get back and like this thing looks like it's 3 months old.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, but no, it was incredibly amazing. The food was amazing. The people were amazing. They closed down the street for me. The cops showed up and I got to do wheelies up and down.
That's
And there was a
intense.
few hundred people just kind of in Haiti. Like when something happens, everyone just crowds
Of course,
around because like not much goes on
Right.
there. So it was really cool. Like even when I blew a tire the one day, we probably had 30 people just hanging out watching. Like
That's
all of a
incredible.
sudden they come over from the woodwork. So
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So Haiti, and where else did you go?
I was in Invermere, BC in February. That was for snowmobiling. So a photography company brought me out there. And they're all professional sledders. And, you know, I would call myself professional, but once you get out there, it's a whole new world. Because
Okay. They have a whole crew, right?
well, yeah, you're
all
like
set up,
you're like
so-
dodging avalanches and like stuff like that. Not like here where you just ride in a
Oh
cornfield.
my goodness.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you're climbing mountains and like you're going up a hill like this through 2 trees that are with a space this big on 6 feet of powder with 15 feet of snow under you. Like
That's another level.
it's wild, and it's like full workout too because you're at 10,000 feet, so it's harder to breathe, right? So you don't want to get stuck because when you get stuck, like it completely drains you just trying to get this thing unstuck,
right.
and then you gotta sit there for 15 minutes trying to catch your breath.
And did you ever think yourself, like, at that moment, you're like, what the heck am I doing?
No, I've
Okay.
actually, this is my second time I've been mountain sledding, so I knew what I was getting into,
Okay.
but it was different this time because these guys, there's probably 10, 15 of them, and they do this every weekend, so
Wow.
yeah, like just keeping up to them, you know. It was an unreal group of guys, but definitely, you know, need to train my cardio a little harder going
Yeah, right.
into it. Like,
Especially at that altitude.
I don't even know how to train high altitude, right?
You
Like,
just gotta train at the house.
yeah, so you
That's
guys
basically it.
go there the week before and start training, right?
That's right. That's right.
So, but no, it was really good. It was busy though. I was there for 9 days, and I think we filmed 21 videos.
Wow.
So we were doing like 3 a day, and I think we're up at 5 in the morning every day, and then we get home at midnight, because you gotta drive about an hour up into the mountains, right? And then you unload, and by the time you do that and drive to the top of the mountain on the sled, like, and get back, yeah, it's like 9, 10 at night.
Wow.
And then I'd have to offload like drone, GoPro, phones, like 3 phones on my computer, edit. So I'd be in bed by like midnight 1 every night, and then up at 5 again. So
that's crazy.
It was an unreal trip, but it was like busy.
And you did that for 9 straight days?
Yeah, we did have a day off here and there, but we would still go out and film the odd thing. So,
wow.
But definitely recommend if anyone's into snowmobiling, go out west.
Okay.
100%, and go with a tour guide, because it's so dangerous out there. If you don't, like, those guys are all certified and everything.
Right.
So if you don't know where you're going, like, well, for instance, one day we were in the mountains, beautiful day, sunny, and I look over and black cloud coming towards us. I'm like, oh my god! And like, within 3 minutes, I couldn't see my hands in front of my face.
Whoa.
Yeah, and when you're...
How long did that last?
Well, the rest of the night. Like, but they knew exactly where we were, so we started gunning out of there, and thank God, because like, as soon as it gets like that and turns night, like, you don't know if you're going up or down the mountain. You can't see the mountains. Right. You don't know if there's trees or if you're in an avalanche area, so definitely go with a guide. Yeah. For sure.
So that would slow you down big time then? Like,
well, yeah, if it gets bad enough, you just have to camp out there for the night, because you're not getting home, right? It'd be like, ending up on the other side of London walking, and all of a sudden the fog comes in and you don't have a GPS or can't see road signs or anything, right? So
and your iPhone's not working, so
nothing works out there. Yeah, you're in the mountains, right?
So you're saying that if people are into snowmobiling or into that stuff, then
just if you've never done or been out there or know the area, just go with a tour guide, or like if you have a friend that lives out there, go with them.
Okay. Any specific area you'd recommend to go?
Well, I was in Invermere.
Okay.
There was a ton of stuff around there. Basically anywhere. Like, I know Whistler, they all have snowmobiling tour companies you can go with. Okay. So, but definitely just search up. Like, I usually search more on Instagram and find like the smaller guys, like the local guys, because they'll actually take you and show you, rather than going with like a group of 20, and because sometimes they'll just take you through a trail through the mountain and come back. Like, these guys were taking me in like the avalanche areas that not a lot of people go to. So I actually saw an avalanche the one day. It was a perfect day. It was starting to get, those dark clouds were coming in, and then I heard thunder, and I'm like, that's weird, it's freaking winter. And we're at the top of the mountain just having lunch, and all of a sudden I look over and this whole mountain just collapses. It was insane. So,
wow.
Yeah, I'm like, glad we weren't over there.
Yeah, but,
the area we were in was fairly safe, but...
what do you mean the whole mountain collapsed?
Like, the whole side of the mountain just came down in an avalanche.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then it turns into this big cloud, and you're just kind of standing there like...
And you can't predict that stuff?
No. Okay. There's certain times when they know... Like, they all know how to, like, measure the snow, and they'll cut it out, and, like, you can tell by the layers. Okay. Because avalanches happen when it warms up and cools down and snows again. Yeah. Because the snow will get like crusty on top, and then the new layer comes down, and then that's slippery. So all of a sudden it's like, a big sheet. It's like when it gets icy here, right? So everyone forgets how to drive.
That's right. So, if it starts to rain, people forget how to drive. So.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah. I love the first day of winter. All of a sudden it's like there's 19 cars in the ditch. Yeah, everyone drives 40.
That's right.
So luckily I have a truck with 4x4.
Well, there you go.
It doesn't slow me down.
There you go. So we have 408 Freeman.
Yeah.
Describe the 408.
So 408 was my racing number. And then, so how it came to be is I started racing. I didn't have a number, but I bought a snowmobile off a guy. Okay. And he used to race, and he was 408. So I went out to race. My dad was like, oh, you should be 408. I'm like, okay. So I just slapped it on there, and all of a sudden I start my YouTube, and I'm like, oh, what do I name it? So I just put Mark Freeman 408, because it was based around racing, right? And then, I started the Instagram, the Facebook, Twitter, and then now it's just like there. It's like a tattoo.
That's right.
Like,
that's right.
I don't even race anymore, and it's still Mark Freeman 408. So I don't know if I'd ever change it to anything, because that's what everyone knows me as, right?
Yeah.
So, and then this design, one of my graphic guys that does all my wraps for my machines, he actually came up with that, and he put it on there. I'm like, Thanks for the logo. So I kept that one ever since.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
It looks like really sweet actually.
Yeah.
408 Freeman.
Yeah.
Because it got like he got it kind of like the 408's kind of like going.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's speeding off. So it's really cool the way he did it. 408 Freeman.
So this year he actually switched up and he put the Freeman on top.
Oh, okay.
So I still like this one better, but the other one's pretty cool as well. So
I think it's sweet.
Yeah.
Super sweet. So now that you're not racing, what are you doing?
Well, mostly just traveling with YouTube.
Okay.
Actually, 2 years ago, I came back and I raced again. I raced snow bikes.
Okay.
So picture a dirt bike, except they take the tires off and they put a track on the back and a ski on the front.
Yeah.
So I was on a team for the season, and it was actually 5 months after I broke my back, and huge comeback. I podiumed every race and almost won the championship.
After you broke your back?
After I broke my back.
So, okay, so how'd you break your back?
So rewind, I think it was like 5-6 months back in the end of August.
Of what year?
2016.
Okay.
This is when everyone was really started daily vlogging.
Okay.
I wasn't into that yet. I was still posting 4 or 5 videos a week, and I had a camera guy that year, and I was like, you know what, let's try it. But I didn't know how to, and so we were going out every day and filming, and like he would just post that day. Now I've completely switched it up. I'll film 3 videos in a day, and have 3 filming days, and then I'm set for the next week, right?
Right.
But yeah, at the time we were going out every day, and it was the year 2 we built a freestyle ramp at my house, so just a big metal ramp that you do tricks off of. So that was still fresh. So I was also riding 5 days a week because everyone wanted to come and ride. So this friend would show up Monday, this friend would show up Tuesday. So every day I'm riding, and every day I'm filming, and I got so mentally burnt out.
Yeah.
And I was like I can't even talk at some point. Like you'd be
talking,
obviously,
because you're working so much.
Yeah, and you weren't even making sense anymore. Yeah. And I was just like. Anyway, so you start making dumb decisions that you think are right? And so, anyways, we're riding, film day, and it's the end of the day. It's wing night. It's a Tuesday. I remember that, and sun's starting to get darker, and I was basically done filming, but I hadn't done a GoPro lap yet. So I'll put my GoPro on my helmet.
Of course, you gotta get in the GoPro.
Yeah, because when we film, we edit and chop it all up. So I'm going around. Everyone's still on the freestyle ramp, so I just hit the track by myself. And like the track goes around the freestyle ramp. So anyways, I'm coming around. I hadn't hit this jump yet, and it's the biggest jump on the track.
Okay.
So it's called a step down. So basically, you drop off. And it had rained the night before. And I was just, I was going around, I was like, you know what, I'll do this jump. And how it works is that you come out of the woods at my house, and you have to be committed before you ever come out of the woods. So like, even if something's on that jump, you're probably going to hit it on the way out, because you can't stop in time, right? It's like, so anyways, I come flying out of the woods, and I'm like, I got it. So I seat bounce. So like, it's when you throw all your weight to the back, and you kind of preload and bounce up. Yeah. And as I seat bounced, I hit a little tiny patch of mud. I didn't even see it. And my tire spun. I probably lost like a couple kilometers in speed. And it's about an 80-foot jump. It was like here to those shrubs over there.
Wow.
And it came up like 2 feet short. And when you seat bounce, you kind of go back a little. So when it came down, I bounced like this, flew back up. I thought I had it. Arms came flying off. So I'm like Supermaning with the bike. So I flew another 80 feet past that. So it was about here to Tim Hortons over there.
That's
that I flew.
crazy.
And I was coming down. I kind of pushed the bike out of the way. I'm still going like a Superman, and I landed on my side. Like I still have a big scar on my arm.
Wow.
So the external damage wasn't too bad. Yeah. But I was like, something's wrong. Like I could feel like I was the most pain I've ever felt.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm trying to get up, and I'm like, oh, like the pain was incredible.
Wow.
And like no one saw me. Luckily, my buddy had started riding too, so he was behind me. So he came up and he's like, oh my god, like are you?
Yeah,
like, I'm like, get up, too, like yeah. So he goes and gets everyone, and like it's kind of like a joke, like get up, because motocross we're tough. You hit the ground, and you jump back up again. But this time I couldn't get back up. So, anyways,
80 feet being thrown is not something like.
Well, it was like 160 by the time.
Right, from the time that you started.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had some scratches and stuff, and my jersey was all ripped up. And I'm sitting up. I'm like, okay, maybe knock the wind out of myself. Maybe it's not that bad. And like I'm trying to get up, and like all of a sudden you get so dizzy, you start fainting. I'm like, okay, sit back down. And then everyone's like, oh, let's go to wing night. I'm like, no, I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I think this is a hospital visit. And it was weird because my buddy that day, he called me and he was at the lake and he was driving by, he's a paramedic. And he was driving by as it happened. And he saw everyone in there, but he was with his family, so he didn't stop in. And I wish he did because he probably could have helped me some. But anyways, so I'm about 25 minutes from the hospital. And I was like, by the time we call an ambulance, it's going to be an hour in and out. I'm like, let's just jump in the truck and go. So they stood me up. I could still walk. I had no energy. They basically had to carry me, put me in the truck super slow, just recline the seat. And my buddy drove like a bat out of hell, like 150 all the way to the hospital.
That's crazy.
We went through so many red lights, and like, I don't know how we didn't get in an accident. But then I get there, and like he runs inside and like starts freaking out. Like all the nurses come out and they're like, okay, like don't move. So the ambulance still has to come though, because it's like,
while you're in the hospital?
Yeah, because it's a liability thing. So I was at the entrance, but they come around, so I had to wait like 5 minutes. They came around, then they take you out of the vehicle, just with how liability works. So they like turn me and kind of shuffle me on a board. And then
they want to make sure that your spine isn't injured.
Exactly.
They don't want to injure it as you're being carried.
So I got to skip the waiting room, move straight in, and they started ripping off my clothes. I'm like don't cut my stuff, because I wanted to like keep it, as a memento, right? So they took my boots off. The worst thing is I'm covered in dirt and I've been sweating so long, and it's like I just want to shower. So anyway,
that's probably the last thing that's on your mind at that point, right?
Well, I was actually the thing was I was just so thirsty. All I wanted was water, but at that point they won't give you any water because they have to do X-rays and everything. So luckily my buddy was there, and he had my water bottle, and he kept like kind of squirting it in my mouth, and they put me in the neck brace, so it's just the most uncomfortable thing. So I'm in there for like 4 or 5 hours. And like the doctor keeps coming out. He's like, all right, scan, do this. And when I first got in there's 11 nurses helping me. Like they were coming from every direction. I swear I had 10 pairs of hands on me. I was, just
and this is before X-rays or after X-rays?
This is before. This is when I first rolled in. Anyway, so skip that. I go start getting X-rays. I go back here, and then it's like, okay, go back in again. Oh, we missed something. Come back out, and it's like probably like midnight at this point. Everything happened at like 7 p.m. So it's probably midnight at this point. A couple of friends came. My dad's in Australia. He's freaking out because my brother just posted a picture of me in a hospital and didn't say anything. So then my family starts finding out, and then my friends start finding out, and by midnight I had 300 messages on my phone.
That's crazy.
I didn't even have my phone at the point, but I just remember like when it came, I looked at it, I was like, oh my god. So it was like 1 a.m. and I'm like, there's something wrong with my lung. I'm like, I can't breathe. And when I was breathing, it sounded like this, like a popping. And he's like, oh, maybe you just, I don't know, maybe you got something in there. I'm like, no, there's something bad. So and so they come out, and then he's like, you punctured your spleen. I'm like, okay, I don't even know what that means, but I'm like, am I gonna be alright? He's like, you'll be fine. And then we go back another 2 hours. He's like, you broke some ribs. I'm like, okay. Comes back out. He's like, you punctured your lung. I was like, I could have told you that. And he goes back, he comes back, he's like, you broke your back. I was like, and at that point, I'm like starting to break down. Like, the list is going on. Like, am I gonna die?
That's right.
They're like, you should be all right. And then, actually, maybe the spleen was last. Because he came back in. And he's like, we're transferring you. I was like, why? He's like, we can't deal with like what you have here. So I was at Western, and they transferred me to Vic. So we buzz over there. There's like nurses in the ambulance, and I'm all drugged up at this point. So I'm like laughing and hitting on everyone. And anyways, they get me in there. It's like 4 a.m. My friends are still with me. I'm like, you guys can just go home. Like, come back tomorrow or whatever. So I get there. I think I slept for like an hour or two. And then I woke up at like 7 a.m. and my family started showing up. And actually, family friend came. As soon as she walked in, they like pushed her out of the way, and all the doctors showed up. And they're like, we're putting you in emergency surgery right now. They're like, your spleen is pouring into your stomach, and like you're basically gonna die. I was like, what? And I'm like, I'm pretty much out of it. I've only had an hour's sleep, and I was like, okay. So they like fly me through. I'm in surgery. They only put me half out, which was cool. So I was awake for the whole surgery.
Holy.
So they put this little, it was like a dissolvable coil in there and sealed it all up. And then surgery went well. They stopped the bleeding, but my stomach was like hard as a rock.
Okay.
Like it was bad. And yeah, and then I was just in the hospital for 5 days. You know, tons of people coming in, but I didn't want to see anyone because it's just so tiring, right?
Of course, yeah.
I had no energy because I couldn't breathe still, and like just talking in general was tiring.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I was in there.
You're not Wolverine.
Yeah. So they're trying to like make me leave the hospital. I'm like, guys, I can't even stand up. So I stayed for a few extra days, and I went home. I think on the 5th day, and then basically it was just bed rest for, I think 2-3 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, like getting off the couch and going to the washroom was just basically the only thing I did because that's all the energy I had.
Yeah, right.
So I was back in the gym within a month and a half. I did yoga, hot yoga, and then gym was kind of super light weights off the start.
Right.
You know, getting back into it. Obviously, my shoulder was still pretty screwed up, and then by December, I rode that snow bike for the first time. I went up north and
that's brave, man.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm like, I gotta get back into this. I'm like, well,
crazy.
It was a huge mental thing, right?
Yeah,
because all of a sudden, like, you know, your life changes. It's like,
that's true.
It's like, do I give up?
Yeah.
Do I just, you know, get addicted to painkillers? And
well, I mean, the thing is that because you started off as being competitive,
yeah,
and then you got this, you know, this
huge roadblock,
right?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're not going to just stop at that point,
no,
because your mental energy is still there.
Yeah,
You're trying to prove to yourself that you're still there.
Yeah.
So that's probably what propelled you.
It was so hard to come back though.
Oh, sure it is.
You know, because every jump is now. Before I would just look at something and do it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know,
there's
well,
fear.
I don't know, am I gonna crash? And it was funny because the first time I jumped back on the snow bike, I had a little fall. It wasn't bad, and it was in snow, so it was soft. But like everyone's freaking out. They're like, I'm fine.
But I mean, you fell many times before that. Like, I'm sure that's not your only fall, but that was the most traumatic.
That was the most aggressive, traumatic one. Yeah. I had one a few years before that. I broke my tailbone. Okay. I jumped off in midair on a jump, and I kind of came down my butt.
That must have hurt.
Yeah, right. But that was just a hospital night, and just a tailbone.
Yeah.
So
what do they do for that?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah. Just kind of.
I didn't even have to sit on the donut, but I went to class the next day and I would like walk in the room like 2 miles an hour. Like, hey guys.
Yeah.
But
then after that, so after you got into that accident, that huge accident, and then how did you? Because this is really interesting and that'll help a lot of people. How did you get back into, you know, doing your jumps again, and succumbing that fear? Because it's that fear that you actually have to really jump over.
Yeah, well, the hardest part was like, first thing I had to do was get off the couch. I'm like, there's no, you know, advantage to me sitting here and whining about how sore I am. I'm like, no one's gonna help me. I'm like, this is your own. Like, I've seen a lot of people just lay there and, you know, the mental game gets to them and they start getting into the pills. And so I was on painkillers for about 5 days, and then I just threw them out. I'm like, I'm done with these. I'm like, I earned this, I have to go through the pain. So I got rid of those, and then I started stretching, a lot of yoga. Yoga was a huge thing because obviously, you know, even when you sleep in now, it's like you're sore, right? Because everything tightens up. So it's like I had to do yoga every day, basically all day I was stretching. Like I'd watch some TV, lay there, and then I'd stretch for 10 minutes. Then, so I got past that. And then back to the gym and pushed through it. Like the first time I was back, I was crying. Like I was still in so much pain because I hadn't worked out in a month and a half, and I'm still in pain from all the trauma, right? So, and then I got back. But
I mean, at that point though, like when you're working out and you're in pain, what kept you going? Like, were you thinking to yourself, I have to prove to myself
that I don't want to be like the other people, right?
That's what it is.
I'm like, you know, I've made this name for myself now. If I just quit, then what am I worth, right?
That's what
so I started riding again, and I started following a lot of people. So like when we would go around the track, if there was a jump, I would just follow someone off it. Before I would just hit everything wide open and figure it out. But then so I started following everyone, kind of learning, because I basically had to relearn how to ride.
That's right.
But like I was still fast in my mind, but my body wasn't. It was my body's like, no, like don't do that again.
Right.
So basically I just relearned everything and just practice. You know, I fell a few times after, but nothing bad, like, you know, in a corner or whatever. And then this year was actually the first time I did that jump again.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a little smaller now. I made it a little smaller, but still like just coming out of the woods. And,
Yeah,
like,
right.
you know, all the flashes, like in the movies, the flashbacks. So
yes.
Came out of the woods, hit it.
And what
like,
made you want to do that exact jump again? Is it again to prove to yourself that
you
still
got
got
to
it?
prove to yourself, right?
Okay.
So it's just one of those things like you can't let it eat away. You know?
Okay.
And then once I hit it, everything just went away.
Right.
So
you hit it. You're good. Did you like make the distance longer to prove to yourself?
No, I actually made it a bit smaller.
Okay.
Because how I made it. Actually, someone else made it, and he wasn't a dirt biker, so he didn't know like the right angles and stuff. So I actually made it into the right jump now.
Okay.
Yeah. So and there was like a little low spot where that mud was that it spun, so I got rid of that. And
nice.
So, but.
So now you're back into gear.
Yeah, I'm back. I ride just once a week now, and then do all the YouTube videos on the side. So I'm doing 7 videos a week, and.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I think I'm 3 years straight now, so over 1,000 videos straight.
Nice.
I mean, there are a few days here and there that I've missed. You know, sometimes no Wi-Fi, or sometimes you just don't have a video. Like if it rains for a week straight, like where are you supposed to film it?
But I mean, in general, though, you're doing seven
a week.
videos.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
posting every single day.
Every single day. So and it's nice with YouTube because they have a scheduling system now. So I just upload everything. They approve it for monetization, and then I just schedule them, you know, Thursday, Friday, Saturday type thing.
That's crazy.
So 5:30 a.m. every day. So when people get up at 6 for work, they have something to watch.
That's nice.
Yeah, and people actually get up. I've had tons of emails now that people get up an hour earlier now at 5 a.m. to watch my video.
That's loyal fans.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, you can come home and work and watch it. I'm like, it's still going to be there.
But they want to be the slightest.
They want to be the first one, and they want to, you know,
that's awesome.
Something in their head that,
of course.
loyal fan, right?
Of
Top
course.
fan. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So now that you have this 408 Freeman, so now you're mainly focused on YouTube, not doing the competition thing anymore?
No, yeah.
Okay. So now you've taken us through the journey of, you know, you doing the dirt bike, you traveling the world, you taking on competitions, and then your company 408 Freeman, you went on YouTube, you became partner, and then now you're hitting it hard in terms of doing the YouTube stuff.
Yeah, so now I work with a lot of sponsors, and then I also am a big investor in, you know, different companies. Sponsors, you know, they're a hard thing. People are like, oh, you know, just send me free stuff. I'm like, it doesn't work like that. Like, you have to do something for this company, right? If they're gonna give you, like, before they even pay you, and they're just giving you free gear or whatever, like, you still have to prove yourself. Right. Because, you know, if they send you a bunch of stuff and then you don't even, like, promote them, like, what good are you to them, right? Yeah. So I was trying to tell people, I'm like, try and build, you know, your brand. Yeah. And then people are going to look at you like, oh, okay, this guy. And so, like this year alone, I've worked for Amazon, Carhartt. Now they make like all the work gear. Okay.
When you say work for, you mean like you advertise for?
Like advertise.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, Amazon was more of an influencer job. I was helping them promote that TV show, The Greatest Race or whatever. Okay. Not that. It's the guys from First Gear. Okay. It's like top show in the world right now. Okay. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. But I actually got food poisoning at the event. Okay. Yeah. So I just finished, ran to my hotel and puked for like till the next morning. But yeah, I got the job done.
More fun. That's good.
Yeah. But
you got that on camera though?
No.
I should have.
Well, it was back to back. So I was in BC. Yeah. I landed. I went to Lake Havasu for a week for a bachelor party. Yeah. I landed. My buddy picked me up from the airport and I went and did this Amazon job. So I feel like I hadn't slept in 2 weeks. And so it was probably a combination of everything, like food poisoning, exhaustion.
That's right. And your body's like, what are you doing to me?
And I went from Havasu, which was 110 degrees in the desert, to it was a super cold day here in the spring.
That'll do it.
So that didn't help. But
that'll do it. That's amazing.
Yeah, so everyone's just like, how do I get sponsors? I'm like, well, just try and grow your social media. Yeah. Take professional pictures. And like everyone has an iPhone now. That's right. Like half of my photos are just iPhone. You touch them up a little bit. Right. But
the thing is, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people don't know what the heck they're doing.
Well, it's just like, it's not hard. Go and just look at other people's pages, see what they're doing. Like, it's not hard to copy someone.
Or go on YouTube and find out how to do it. That's right.
And everyone's like, oh, I wish I could do what you do. I'm like, you can. Everyone has the same resources.
You know what I find? I find that the opportunity is there for everybody.
100%.
Everyone. But the thing is, what separates the top dogs, like you, for instance, from, let's say, everyone else, is the mentality.
Oh,
and you proved it actually to yourself when you had that broken back, when you had that big trauma. You actually proved to yourself to come back, because that's not easy.
Yeah,
to come
especially
back.
that quick.
That's right. To come back and to actually start making it even bigger.
100%,
like that's incredible. And so it's the mentality, it's the mind frame, the mindset that gets people from point A to point B, and it's that chip on your shoulder. You're like, I got to do this.
It's a huge mental game, though.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of nights where I, cried myself to sleep because I was in so much pain, and I didn't want to come back. I'm like, I'm done. And then the next day I wake up, sun comes up. I'm like, you know what? I'm still alive. Like, I'm lucky. I got 9 lives here.
There you go.
I gotta crush this.
That's
like,
right.
There's no.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, if you, like I said before, if I quit, then what am I worth, right?
That's right.
So yeah, you just gotta come back, and you gotta come out stronger, come out swinging, right?
That's right.
So
the strength isn't in the ability to do something; it's in the ability to come back from the challenge.
Yeah.
That's the strength.
Exactly, because it doesn't matter how strong you are, like muscle-wise. It's just your brain's
that's right.
That's stopping you.
It's the 3 pounds inside this little skull there.
Exactly,
Yeah, that's what it is.
Right?
So tell me. So now you have something else too, right?
Yeah.
So there's this
Q Biologics.
Q Biologics. Now this we were talking just before the podcast started.
Yeah.
We were talking about it, and extremely intriguing. Please go ahead and tell us what this is.
So I'll tell you a vague description. You have to interview my dad if you want to do the full. But
it'd be my honor to.
Yeah. So basically, when was it? I must have been. I was a kid. My dad started London Telecom. He was always, I grew up in a tiny little house. We were clipping coupons at the time, and my dad was always intrigued with phones. Back when we used landlines.
Yeah.
So his dad really helped him out. He took him to Bell, and he did this and that. So he started a phone company in our basement, and it grew and grew and grew, and then all of a sudden he was the first long distance flat rate across Canada. He figured it out somehow.
Yeah, right.
He figured it out. I think it was like here to Hamilton was long distance, so he was putting like switcher boards in between and making everything local. So he put switches all the way across Canada.
Wow.
So you could phone to BC for the same price you could phone across town here.
Wow.
So you'll have to talk to him more about it.
Yeah,
He'll
right.
tell you a lot more. Right. And then so he went up and up and up, and then all of a sudden everyone got in, and he saw his company peak, and he's like, done. So he sold it for a good amount, and we bought the farm out by Thorndale. We used to live in Lambeth, and then we got dirt bike because we were getting into dirt bikes at the time. So he got a dirt bike, and
that's cool.
Within the first, I don't know how long we were there for. It wasn't long, but we were at dirt bike, and he hit a gopher hole. And he broke his ribs.
Oh my goodness!
So he goes to the hospital, and they X-rayed him, and they found a tumor. So because we noticed he was getting a little bigger, like in his stomach. I'm like, but you don't really notice.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm young. Maybe he was just getting fat. So they found a tumor. So all of a sudden it's like, all right, he's got cancer. Like, so he's got to start treatments. So he was doing treatments 3 years all around the world. He was in every country doing every healthy, and he did the chemo, all his hair fell out, and we thought he was going to die for many times, and but it was his goal that he's like, I have 2 kids, I need to stay alive, right? So in one of his final treatments with this doctor, he got a Staph aureus infection. He almost died from that, but then they found out that's one of the reasons that actually saved him. So a few years later, after he was all done, he was going for his annual checkup, and he was walking down the street, and he ran into Dr. Hal Gunn in Vancouver, and so he went in and chit-chatted with him. He was the one that did that last treatment there. And he's like, hey, I got some ideas, can I run them by you? And my dad's like, yeah, like, you saved my life, whatever you need. And so he had all these cancer vaccines, and my dad's like, I'm in, invest, here's a check, like, let's start a business. So they did, and it's called Q Biologics, and they weren't saving lives, but they were extending them. Like, we had one guy here, he had 6 months to live, we got him 6 extra years. He ended up with another disease, passed away. But so we did that for a lot of people, and then that guy that passed away, his nephew had Crohn's, and his aunt called us and was like, hey, my nephew has Crohn's. Do you think the vaccine that you gave my dad would work for him? Well, and we're like, oh, I don't know, like, try it. We're like, we can't give you any more because he doesn't have cancer, but we can give you what he still has left. So he had a bunch of vials in his fridge. So the nephew took it as Crohn's. He went into full remission in 8 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, and my dad called Hal and was like, this happened.
Yeah.
He's like, I kind of did it under the table, gray
Right,
area, but
right.
it happened.
Yeah.
And the doctor's like, oh, okay. So we switched everything over, and so that guy, actually, his neighbor had Crohn's too. So he gave her what was left. She went into full remission, and this girl was down to like 90 pounds. Like, couldn't leave her house. So she went into full remission, and then it kind of just spread from there. And then all of a sudden you start finding out all these people have Crohn's that you would just meet and you wouldn't even know, right?
That's right.
So, so we started getting into like investors and trials, and I don't know how many trials we've been into now, but...
Well, because it's a process.
Yeah.
To develop a drug.
Especially in Canada.
That's right. They say it takes 10 years to develop a drug.
It's been 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So I think this is their 10th year.
Wow.
So obviously when I was young, like, I invested, actually, well, my dad invested for me, and then it was kind of like a loan, so I paid him back.
Yeah, right.
But so now I'm fully invested in it. I think we're in our final or second last trial.
Nice.
The company they're trying to go public next year.
That's amazing.
So
when you say remission, how long are they in remission for? Like, what's...
Like, they're full remission, like their Crohn's is completely gone.
Completely?
Gone.
Wow.
They're off the vaccine. And it's 100% natural vaccine. It's not a drug or anything. So a lot of what's on the market now, your Crohn's might go away, but you'll get cancer.
Yeah, right.
Or stuff like
That's
that.
right.
You know, when you hear those commercials, it's like, oh yeah, it's perfect. And then you hear this list of side effects. Like, that's not even worth it.
That's right.
I might die. So... yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff, and my dad made it his goal too. Like, a lot of companies will just buy these and shelf it because there's more money in treating a disease rather than curing it. But he made it his goal because he went through all this, that if he does sell it, it's going on the market.
Nice.
Like, it's got to be in the contract.
Nice.
So yeah, we've definitely I don't know about save lives, but definitely improved a lot of people's lives for sure.
Time. So this works for Crohn's. Do you know if it works for like others, like for instance colitis?
Well, that's the thing too. So we're still studying all that stuff. Obviously, it works best for Crohn's. We're not sure 100% because we haven't done a trial for colitis or IBS, but so that'll be next. But then a lot of things too, like one lady had arthritis and Crohn's, and her arthritis went away. And then someone had lung cancer. Don't quote me on this, but I believe that shrunk their lung cancer as well. So their Crohn's went away, and then
all from this medication.
This medication. They say the doctor predicted, I think, 250 different diseases it works for.
That's insane.
So
that's gonna change everything.
It's a SSI vaccine, site-specific injection. It's basically just bacteria from your body. They take it out and do something to it and put it back in.
It's that something to it.
Yeah, well, because cancer is invisible to your body. So basically when they inject it back in, your immune system realizes that there's a tumor in there, and then it starts fighting it, right? So you'd have to talk to my dad more about he knows the whole details.
That's amazing.
So yeah, that's basically what it is.
So I'm guessing then. So this is actually really cool, as is your company.
Yeah.
So like this whole bottle is like cooldom.
Yeah.
Like
no one knows what this is. You're like, oh,
it's really cool. Actually, I've seen it before. I just can't remember where. That Q Biologic.
Well, we've been doing a lot of advertising lately, just because we're trying to fill. I think we have 3 more spots for the trial. Okay. So, but we might have to go through 100 people to get to that 3 spots because they're working on doing it on younger demographic this time because it obviously works better on younger people.
And you have to go through the FDA or
you have to go through everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, there are a lot of hoops you have to jump through.
Yeah, every time we're like, oh, this is the year. It's like, oh, next year.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
So I thought this was going to be the year 5 years ago.
Right.
But I'm glad that obviously we've waited and. Because in that time, the value of it has gone like triple.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
So
that's
amazing. I know one vaccine sold 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It didn't even cure Crohn's. It just helped it. And it sold for, I think, $2.5 billion.
Yeah, wow.
So.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
If it goes through, it's going to make his old company look like peanuts.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, for sure.
So, but it's funny how this stuff happens. Yeah. Like, my dad was retired or semi-retired.
Yeah.
Like this is it.
And this happened.
Yeah.
I mean, he's helping millions of people.
Yeah.
He's going to help millions of people.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
So
So I mean, it has to keep going.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing he's carrying the torch.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's not ready. He's one of those guys that'll never retire.
That's good.
Fully.
That's good.
Like he's business.
Nice.
You know, he doesn't drink, doesn't do anything.
Nice.
He's fully healthy now, just because what he went through. He's at the gym every day and
Nice.
he's healthy. So.
And his lung tumor is cured.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know exactly how that works, but yeah, he's fully good now.
Good.
I think he still goes for his annual checkup.
Right. He would have to. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Good. Wish him all the health. Can't wait to meet him.
Yeah.
That's great.
Now all he does is travel.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So
Yeah.
Living his best life.
So. And what are you doing in 5 years from now? Like, what's your goal? Because you've got so much going on.
Yeah, I know.
Right. So
every year it changes. Like 5 years from now I'm gonna do this. And this and 5 years ago, if you asked me that, I wouldn't have told you that. This is where I would be. Right. So. I don't know.
Okay. Like you don't have a vision. You don't have like where you
I want to
be
yourself. Bigger, better, do more things, help more people.
Okay.
I'm hoping to hit 1 million subscribers by then.
Good. I'm sure you will.
That's my main goal right
Good.
now.
And how many subscribers you got right now?
I think 330 or 340.
Oh, you'll get it for sure.
Yeah. So I'm starting.
And this is YouTube, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm starting to meet a lot more people to collab with.
Okay.
So collaboration is the best way to grow.
There you go.
Because I don't know how the algorithm works, but it seems like they say your first million's the hardest.
Yeah.
And then once you're past there, you're golden.
It just skyrockets.
So it's been a little slow lately, but you kind of figure out ways to make it grow. And it's tough in Canada because we have 6 months of winter.
Yeah.
And the days are so short, and it's like, how do I get out? Like half the time I'm out in a rainstorm or in a snowstorm filming.
Right.
It's like I can sit inside all day, or I can just do this. So
look, man,
luckily
you have the mindset. That's right. That works too.
Yeah.
You have the mindset of a person that can take over a mountain.
Yeah.
So if you want to get to 1 million subscribers, I'm 100% positive you're going to get to 1 million subscribers.
That's planned.
Whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Jamaica or wherever you are, you're going to get to 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
I believe.
Thank you.
I really believe it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's been great having you on Discover with Sbenati. Honestly, like you are a storm by yourself. Seriously, seriously, that's amazing. It looks like you're just started.
Yeah,
like you're just starting out. And you're so young too.
And I'm so ready to just push harder.
I can't wait to see what the future will unfold for you.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully,
within the next year or two, I'll be at 1 million.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah, that'd be amazing. Well, thank you so much. This was an amazing episode with Discover with Sbenati. Thank you for tuning in. For those that are watching, thank you for watching. And I'll see you soon on the next episode, Discover with Sbenati. Till then, take care.
Bye.